Hey, Dr. G coming at you with a new video. So, what we're doing today is we are building a binomial calculator and we're going to do it in Excel. All right. So, um, we're in Gotham City. You know, I love me some Batman. 29% of all villains are metahumans. If you're going up against Batman, you better have some special powers. If 40 villains are randomly selected, what is the probability of exactly 9 of them being metahumans? This problem fits a binomial distribution because you either are a metahuman or you are not. So it's a success failure condition, right? And then we have a probability of that success failure condition. So in Excel, I've got the formula is obviously we're starting off with an equal sign to do any calculation. And then the function is the binomial dot distribution. And then you need the number of successes. Here that would be 9 of them. You need the sample size or the number of trials. That would be 40. You need the probability, which we have is 29%, which I'm going to convert. And then because it's exactly the way the binomial distribution is, you want to hit false. And if you hit false, then it's only going to take the successes and calculate that one probability. Now we're building a calculator. So what I want to do is in this box down here, I am going to put successes, okay? And the number of successes here is 9. And then I'm going to have my sample size, okay? And the sample size here is 40. And then I need my probability, right? And you can do 29%, and it'll go ahead and convert that for you. Now, once I have those things, you probably could put in like a true false thing or in a conditional statement. Those of you who want to be super duper nice, but what I did was I just renamed this sheet at the bottom. Again, if you right click, you can rename the sheet, and I just named it exactly. Okay, so that I'm just gonna plug into these, and you'll see why in a moment. This is probably a nice way of setting up this particular calculator, unless you want to be super fancy. All right, so then what is the answer? The answer is the probability of having those metahumans, right? So we're going to do the equal sign. I'm going to start typing binomial, and you'll see that the very first thing is that binomial distribution. You can click on it or you can hit tab. Now it tells you what you're supposed to do. So what we're going to do is for that first successes, I'm going to click on that 9 for the sample size, and then for the probability, and then I want to do false, okay? And so if I do that and I go, I've got the 0.972 or about 10%, right? There's a 10% probability, right, that exactly 9 of them are metahumans, okay? Now, how is this calculating? Because before I do the at most, the at least, or the between, I want to do the how is it calculating. And basically what it's doing is it's plugging in 0, and it's like, what's the probability that 0 of them out of 40 are metahumans if about 30% are actually metahumans? And it's basically 0, okay? Now, I could probably expand this out, right? I can increase the decimal point. Oh, there it is, right? So at 5 decimal places, there is the 1. Okay, so that's that little guy right there. So when you say false, all you're doing is calculating that particular success right there. Okay, and so when we get to 9, it's calculating this success right here, and you've got this. Now this shape probably looks super duper familiar. In fact, it probably looks like the normal distribution. And it should. This is actually where we're going. This is why we study the binomial. Okay? So that's the exactly. What about at most, right? At most. So in Gotham, 29% of all the villains. So let's go ahead and just copy this, right? Let's go ahead and grab this. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to go over here to at most. Now, at most 12. So I'm going to do 12. I still got the 40. I still got the 29%. And now here, I don't want to do false, because if I do false, that number, the 13%, is coming from right there. Oops. Okay, that 13% is coming from right there. So I don't want that. Let's change this to false. And if I change it to false, then it becomes the cumulative. Oh, we want to change it to true. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. I want to change it to true, right? I want it to match there. I'm going to hit enter, and there it is. It is the 63 3%. Okay, so this is the at most is 12. All right, so if I go over here, how is it calculating the at most is 12? It's actually adding these all up. So if I go ahead and let's see, I'm gonna, oh, I think I can do it this way. At most, right? I'm gonna go over here, equals sum of, and then I'm gonna sum up these values right here. So at most is 12 is gonna include the 12. And now I go back over, and there it is. And I'm gonna close that up and hit enter. And I don't know what I did there. Oh. Let me just copy this and paste it down. There it goes. Perfect. And see, you'll see that this number matches this number. In fact, if I go ahead and move this to make it 4 decimals, this matches. So the 12 is being included. All right, so that's really an important thing to know. The 12 is being included when you do the true and you have the at most. So this is fun. This is fun, right? So I'm going to delete this. I don't need that in my calculator. Let's go ahead and grab this. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to at least, okay? So let me paste that in, okay? And so now the at least is going to be 13. So at least means that the 13 is the lowest one. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. Now this is actually counting all of these. And what I need it to do is I need it to count at least, I need it to count all of these. How do I get it to flip over? How do I get it to flip over? What I need here is I know that the total probability is 1, and that's going to give me the other side, right? So the sum of all of these numbers, right? So total equals sum of, and we're going to grab all these numbers right here and hit enter, and you can see it's 1. Okay, so that means that up to this point, right, it's adding those up, and then that means everything down here is going to add up to 1. So what I can do is that at least is subtract that right tail from 1, and I can get the left tail. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 1 minus that binomial, and I've got this 3687, and that is exactly what I need. I need to get rid of this. I put this in there, but it was somewhere else. All right. Oh, the 13. Okay, this is not right. This is not the correct answer. Like, well, why isn't it the correct answer? Well, because I'm including the 13. If I go over here, I have all of these numbers included, and I'm subtracting from 1. Oh, crap. The 13 is in the wrong tail. I need to subtract 1 from it. So as I go over to the at least, this was actually correct. I need to do the minus 1 over here. And so from here, I need to get rid of that 1. Okay? And so now this is the correct answer. So the 1 puts me in the other tail. It puts me on the other side of the distribution. And the -1 over here makes sure that the 13 is included instead of excluded. Now you can see why I have these tabs down here, right? I want to have these tabs down here because I just want to have the one formula in, and I just want to crank it in and get the answer out. Now, some of you are really clever, and you're going to put in some if-then statements that are going to allow you to see some really cool things and maybe put the calculator on one page. But I'm going to love to see what you do in the comments. All right. Now, we have one last problem to do, but let's go ahead and let's not grab this one. Let's grab this one. Okay, so copy this one, and let's go to the between, right? Now, I'm going to paste this in. Here's my between. Okay, and you're like, now it's got to be between 8 and 16. Well, wait, what do I put in here? Do I put 8 in here? Do I put 16 in here? Interesting, because I have two successes. Well, what's going to happen is I need to get all of the sum total between the 8 and the 16 inclusive. Now, I could literally just go over to 8 and grab up to 16, and I could add those up. In fact, let's go ahead and do that to make sure that we check our answer, right? So let's do sum of, okay? And then let's go ahead and do between 8 and 16. And remember, we have to include them. And let's go ahead and hit enter. So our answer should be 8808, right? This number right here. Now, that's not this number. This number is too big. What do I do? Well, maybe what we do is we tweak this around just a little bit. Let's go ahead and take this, right? Let's go ahead and take this, right? Let's put it up here. There is more than one way to do this, okay? Let's go ahead and put upper. Let's go ahead and put lower. And then let's go ahead and put the answer here, okay? And I'm going to delete this. Yeah, perfect, okay? So now my upper is the 16. My lower is the 8, okay? And so my answer is I need to subtract these. Ooh, I don't want that. Yuck. Okay. I need to subtract the probability of this one from the probability of this one. Okay. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and do distribution. Oh, wait. Binomial. Binomial. Right? We're going to do binomial distribution. I've got my successes. Now here, I want to include the 16, so I am not going to subtract 1. Okay, so there's my 16. I want to include it, right? There's my sample size. That's the 40. There's my probability. And I want it to be true. I want it to be cumulative, right? I want it to be true. That is going to include the 16. Now, what I'm going to do is the binomial, right, distribution. But here, if I plug in 8, it's not going to include the 8. This is going to get subtracted out. So I need to do -1. Okay? Because remember, if I go over to how I'm calculating this, the false is going to do 8 and below, right? And so what I needed to do is 7 and below so that it includes the 8 in my subtraction. And so then we'll go. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. And of course, if I've got this wrong, then that would be bad. Okay, so there it is. And then I need my sample size. And then there's my probability, right? And then again, I'm going to do true because that's my cumulative density function. So this is the upper, including the 16, minus the lower. And because I've subtracted 1, I am now including the 8, right? And so now let's see if we get the correct answer. Let's see. I gotta add some decimal points. Oh, look, there it is. And so there is the answer. So for this one, what we actually have to do is we're gonna keep this, right? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy, and then we have to subtract this one, but we gotta do minus 1. So that's the formula right there. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to unmerge this, and then I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to do merge. There we go. Perfect. Okay, perfect. And so there you go. So there's the formula, and that's what I did there. Now, do you have to do it this way? No, you absolutely do not have to do it this way. Some of you may think there's a better way of doing it. You could actually just create a little calculator over here, right? You could create a little calculator over here. I just have the sample size, and then I put the binomial distribution. The secret sauce is those dollar signs that lock the 40 for dragging it down. And then you could actually go ahead and just calculate this all day long, however you want with your own little graph, right? So that would be a way of doing it. You could do the 4 tabs. You could do something fun with your coding. I would love to hear what you guys did in the comments, or some things that you learned from this. And if you did learn something from this, that makes me happy.